As one of the most highly anticipated sports in the world, boxing has seen several individuals make a name for themselves while others became part of the list of most disliked athletes. For today, we'll be listing down several boxers who will never be respected again. You'd be surprised who will be topping today's list, so tune in to find out more. James Toney. Starting off today's list of most disrespected boxers is James Lights Out Toney. In all honesty, Toney is a quite formidable fighter, yet people hate on him because of his sloppy appearance. Several boxing fans call him a fat slob and even a midget, but there's no denying the boxing talent this man possesses. As a top contender for the heavyweight division, Toney's other area of concern is his suspensions from illegal drug use. Others cite his trash talk as another factor that made them hate him, but still his fans find it amusing. Others say that most of his haters are fans of the Klitschkos, but hey, to each their own, right? The Klitschko brothers, especially the younger Klitschko, Vitaly. Continuing with this list, we got a pair, and it's none other than the Klitschko brothers, Vitaly and Vladimir. In their home country of Ukraine, these two are loved and revered, but in America, they're one of the most disliked and disrespected in the boxing scene. The two kept a tight hold on the heavyweight division and vowed never to fight one another. To some, the brothers are called boring, but the younger Vitaly is more of the recipient of this hate. Vitaly Klitschko's reign in the heavyweight division has been long, and for most people, they didn't like the same results over and over again, which is the case with this younger Klitschko. Another factor that has contributed to the hate towards him is that he's not American, and a Ukrainian dominating the American stage is quite aggravating for US fans who have been starved of their local champion. Adrian Broner. Next on today's list, we have Adrian the Problem Broner, who is a multiple world champion in different weight classes. For someone who has achieved a lot, you'd think the crowds are cheering for him rather than booing, right? Wrong. In fact, BleacherReport.com even called him a wasted talent and opportunity. Despite winning all these titles, a lot of boxing enthusiasts frown upon this boxer, thinking he took the easy way rather than working hard towards these titles, which is such a shame since he's considered a decent talent. Another aggravating aspect about Broner is that he didn't tap into his full potential and never even attempted fixing his flaws, and then he dared to call himself the next Mayweather, yet ran short on the efforts. Because of this, Broner set an unrealistic standard for himself, which is also urged by the people, and it's nothing short of disappointing when these expectations backfire. Out of the ring, this boxer's too busy creating rap tracks and whatnot instead of focusing on his training regime and improving his performance. But the next names on the list are hated for something that usually takes place during matches. What could these be, and who are these disliked boxers? Keep on watching to know more. Prince Naseem Hamed. Another amazing boxer who unfortunately found himself included in today's list is Prince Naseem Hamed. There's no denying that this British boxer packs a punch and has unbelievable skills inside the ring, but some boxing fans think that he's a little too much. He's known for his flashy and wild ring entrances. Most memorable of these is when he entered buying a flying carpet, but if they could pinpoint one thing they hate about him, it's his trash talking. His loud demeanor is only a testament to Naseem being a true performer and part of his antics as a showman, but taunting and riling his opponents was not appealing to many. But if you think about it, a lot of boxers are also trash talkers, so why is he being excluded from this narrative? We think it's most probably because of his Middle Eastern lineage, so when it all comes down to it, some people are just pretty racist. We have 4 more boxers on our list, such as Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Muhammad Ali, so get yourself comfy. Next up, we have Bernard Hopkins. We're pretty sure you know the reason why Bernard the Alien Hopkins makes it on this list, but in case you missed it, we'll refresh your memory on why this particular boxer is disrespected by many. He's not exactly an exceptional fighter, nor is he a bad one, but to put it bluntly, his fighting skills are boring, which is the worst thing to be called for a boxer. Since his fighting skills aren't impressive, the only thing that keeps him from being forgotten is how he low-key plays dirty, which doesn't help him win the public's favor. He throws punches while holding and hits the back of the head, and he also hits low and steps on his opponent's feet, among other things. If the referee doesn't see it, he continues doing these dirty little tactics, which are frustrating to watch, but it has given him success in some of his matches. If you can't be a good boxer, at least be an entertaining one. So Hopkins and his underhanded tactics are in a way entertaining for some, though not all. Muhammad Ali. At the number 2 spot on our list, we have the legendary boxer Muhammad Ali. Dubbed as the greatest, Ali is ranked as the greatest athlete of the 20th century and is known for being the best heavyweight boxer at the time. In addition to that, he was an activist, humanitarian, and is known for his philanthropic acts, but all of these were overshadowed by one thing, being a Muslim. Born as Cassius Marcus Clay Jr., the boxer converted to Islam in 1964, which kickstarted the hate and critiques he received. Aside from that, many people also believe that the reason for his conversion was to avoid being drafted, which is why he was convicted of a draft evasion that led him to being sentenced to 5 years in prison and fined $10,000, yet he remained free while he appealed the case. Several boxing fans also indicated their hate towards him stemmed from his brash attitude and arrogance at the sport, which was further fueled by his refusal to be drafted and was called anti-American by many. many, so Ali didn't have a lot going for him except his boxing prowess. But between you and me, these next two kind of deserve some of the hate they're receiving. Mike Tyson. Another popular boxing champion that made it to this list is none other than Mike Tyson, which doesn't come as a surprise considering boxing has a long, dark history from just about anything and everything. He's been convicted of rape and was sentenced to 6 years in prison, of which he served 3 and was released on parole thereafter. Coming from a troubled past riddled with poverty and instability, it's no wonder that a young Tyson turned to the streets since it was the only way he knew how the world operated, and thus was in prison for more than a dozen times. For some, he is remembered for being unsportsmanlike in a match against Evander Holyfield, where he bit a piece off the ear of the later back in 1997 during the 3rd round of their heavyweight rematch. Because of this, not only was Tyson disqualified, but he was also suspended from boxing. Another thing that angered several boxing fanatics about the star is his attitude towards women. He was once married to Robin Givens, but the pair called it quits when the latter filed for divorce back in 1989, citing spousal abuse as the reason. From there, Tyson had a long string of lovers, but no one will ever forget how he admitted to punching Givens once and even called it the best punch he ever threw in his life. Floyd Mayweather Jr. The most disliked and disrespected in today's list is none other than America's very own Floyd Mayweather Jr. Are you even surprised at this point? This Michigan native has been bombarded with hate and backlash for years on end, and because of his character and attitude to some, we can't say we blame him. There's no denying Mayweather's stellar and undefeated record of 41-0 at the sport, which is also the primary source of his arrogance that's unsettling to many. His egotistic nature, the way he nonchalantly spends his money, and treatment towards women are also contributing factors to why he becomes the most disrespected boxer inside and outside the ring. Despite being hailed as one of the best boxers at the time, Mayweather refused a potential matchup with the Philippines' Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, which led many to believe that he was afraid of Pac-Man. Another thing Mayweather has going for him is how insanely rich boxing has made him, which is an obvious reason why he's called Bad Boy Money May and made boxing as a business venture, and he keeps rubbing it in people's faces how he's filthy, stinking rich. Probably the worst aspect of this infamous boxer is his treatment of women, especially towards his longtime ex-partner, Josie Harris, who spoke about the domestic abuse she has suffered at the hands of the boxer. Hitting your opponent within the 4 corners of the ring is permissible, but towards your partner, it's absolutely unforgivable. That's why he tops the list of today's most disrespected boxers. And that about wraps up today's episode of the most disrespected boxers in the industry. What do you think of the boxers enumerated in today's list? Do you agree or disagree on why they're included? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.